Welcome to today's episode titled The Billionaire Brain: How the Ultra-Rich Approach Life Differently. In this video, we'll explore how highly successful people enter a focused state and the role of brain chemicals like norepinephrine and dopamine in boosting productivity. Keep watching till the end to learn how to adopt the mindset of the ultra-rich in approaching life. Give Luxo-Life some love and let's begin. In the initial stages of hard work and focus, you might feel a bit uneasy, stressed, or confused. This happens because your body's norepinephrine and adrenaline systems kick in, preparing you for intense concentration. Just like how you wouldn't expect to lift your personal record weight at the gym without warming up, or a performer to excel without practice, your brain also needs time to get into gear and figure out which circuits to activate. It's unrealistic to think that you can sit down and produce your best work right away without a warm-up period. We have to acknowledge that there's a natural process of feeling a bit stressed or agitated when we're diving into deep concentration. It's part of the brain's way of gearing up for intense mental activity. So rather than fighting against this initial discomfort, it's important to accept it as a necessary step towards achieving highly focused states. Let's begin with dopamine. Dopamine is like a reward signal in our brain. It gets released when we achieve something significant or when we feel like we're on the right track towards our goals. This release of dopamine makes us feel good and motivated to keep going. When dopamine is released, it helps us focus better on what we're doing. It's like putting on blinders that block out distractions and keep us locked in our task. This heightened focus can be really helpful, especially when we need to concentrate on something important or challenging. Dopamine essentially reinforces our behavior by making us feel rewarded for our efforts, which encourages us to repeat those behaviors in the future. Success in any endeavor hinges significantly on our ability to maintain focus and stay motivated. The reward system in our brains, which is primarily controlled by dopamine release, forms the foundation of this relationship. When dopamine is released, it not only helps us concentrate better on tasks, but also reinforces behaviors that lead to positive outcomes. The knowledge of addiction, the dopamine system, growth mindset, self-reward, and the role of dopamine in propelling us towards our objectives is facilitated by the interaction of focus and the internal reward system. Addiction, whether to drugs, alcohol, or behavioral patterns, is a complex phenomenon influenced by dopamine's role in the brain. Abuse drugs frequently cause a direct impact on dopamine levels, which sets off a vicious cycle in which the brain yearns for the high dopamine release that comes with substance use. This can lead to a narrowing of pleasure-seeking behaviors as the brain becomes wired to seek out the substance or behavior that triggers dopamine release. Understanding addiction through the lens of dopamine sheds light on the powerful grip it can have on individuals and underscores the importance of addressing addictive behaviors from a neurological perspective. Basically, just like how addiction makes people keep seeking out that good feeling, when we work hard and achieve something, our brains want more of that good feeling too. It's not that we're addicted to work, but our brains enjoy the sense of accomplishment and happiness that comes with it. Moving beyond addiction, the dopamine system is key in how we react to things around us. People often think of dopamine as something that makes us feel good when we get likes on social media, but it's not that straightforward. What's really important to grasp is how dopamine works alongside other brain chemicals like norepinephrine and acetylcholine. When these chemicals come together at certain levels, it creates pathways in our brains that affect how we act and learn. Imagine it like this. When you're really focused on something and your brain is buzzing with activity from these different chemicals, that's when you start wiring in behaviors that make you excel at certain tasks. It's not just about the immediate reward, it's about how your brain is responding internally to what you're doing. Nobody is magically boosting your dopamine levels from the outside, it's all happening within your brain. So when we talk about success in anything we do, it's not just about luck or outside rewards. It's about how much we can concentrate and how our brains react internally to what we're working on. Understanding this helps us see that our drive and achievement are deeply tied to how our brains are wired to respond to challenges and accomplishments. Now let's talk about the concept of growth mindset. It's a fascinating idea that sheds light on how dopamine affects both our thinking and emotions. Imagine kids who actually enjoy tackling tough problems, even when they know they might not solve them right away. For them, the act of focusing on these challenging puzzles triggers a rush of dopamine, almost like a little reward just for trying. This enjoyment of facing difficulties head-on is what helps them become really good at puzzles, math, and other complex tasks. A growth mindset is all about recognizing that initial feeling of stress or frustration when starting something new. It's like coming across a gate you need to pass through before you can fully focus and dive into the task. When you push through that initial struggle and reward your effort, you start to feel a sense of joy and accomplishment. It's like your brain gives you a boost of excitement but in a controlled way, signaling that you're on the right track. As you keep working through challenges with this mindset, your brain starts connecting different neural pathways. These pathways aren't limited to just one type of activity. They can be applied to various behaviors and skills you want to develop. It's like building a network of pathways that guide you towards success in different areas of your life, all fueled by the positive reinforcement of dopamine and the mindset of embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. Now let's talk about self-reward. Understanding how we reward ourselves during challenging times can make a big difference in our journey towards success. Often there's this belief that everything should feel good right from the start, but the reality is there's a whole process where things can feel pretty tough. However, if we learn to appreciate the effort we put in, even when things seem difficult, it can be incredibly powerful. Think about it like climbing a staircase. Each step might not feel great, but it's necessary to reach the top. The key is recognizing that feelings of agitation, stress, or confusion are not signs of failure, but rather signals that we're pushing ourselves towards our goals. Just acknowledging this mental shift can make it easier to keep moving forward. Rewarding ourselves along the way, even for small achievements, plays a crucial role in this process. When we celebrate reaching milestones, our brains release dopamine, which helps us stay motivated and focused. Interestingly, dopamine also helps to keep adrenaline levels in check, giving us more stamina and reducing feelings of overwhelm. This interaction between dopamine and adrenaline shows us the importance of managing our emotions and finding ways to stay motivated internally. By embracing the ups and downs of our journey and recognizing our progress, we create a positive cycle of self-reward that fuels our motivation and energy levels as we work towards our goals. Ultimately, the power of dopamine goes beyond just its job as a brain messenger. It has this incredible power to shape how we think and feel. It's like having a cheerleader in our brains, urging us to keep going even when things get tough. Dopamine plays a key role in motivating us to chase after things that bring us joy and to keep pushing forward when we encounter obstacles. When we delve into how dopamine impacts addiction, learning, our mindset, and even how we reward ourselves, we unlock valuable insights into improving how we think and act. It's like understanding the fuel that keeps our mental engines running smoothly. Dopamine helps us stay resilient, bouncing back from setbacks and staying focused on our goals. One fascinating aspect is how dopamine can dampen the effects of noradrenaline, another brain chemical linked to stress and anxiety. It's like dopamine steps in and says, hey, let's keep the motivation high and the stress levels low. This balance is crucial for staying energized and driven on our journey towards success. In essence, dopamine isn't just a chemical, it's a catalyst for growth. It pushes us to stretch our abilities, take on challenges head-on, and find deep satisfaction for reaching our dreams. Understanding and harnessing the power of dopamine can be a game changer in how we approach our aspirations and maintain the momentum needed to turn them into reality. And that wraps up today's video, Luxo lovers. We trust you've gained insight into how highly successful individuals achieve a focused state, and the crucial roles brain chemicals like norepinephrine and dopamine play in enhancing productivity. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and spread the word to others who may benefit. If you're joining us for the first time, subscribe to Luxo-Life for more engaging content, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest uploads. Until next time, Luxo lovers.